Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Madhouse Cave. Today we are gonna be checking a sketchbook tour, in this case One Piece. As you can see, One Piece recap number 3. It's been around half a year or more that I haven't shown you a full sketchbook with One Piece drawings, and it's due. So let's start. At the moment I have around 50 or 55 more or less One Piece drawings already done, already posted as videos here in the channel, okay? Obviously I don't wanna do a video containing more than, let's say, 30 drawings because it gets very long, obviously, and I want you to be able to watch all of them. How this sketchbook is finishing at number 45 more or less, what I will do is split this sketchbook in two, so we may have today like 22, 23 drawings about One Piece with theories that I'm gonna be quick showing you, okay? So let's start here with Awakened Kaku, that we made a theory regarding the color of the awakening, saying if it's black, you are bad, if it is white, you are good, like Yamato, Luffy, for example, or the Gorosei, and etc, etc. This in Egghead finished in a line that we don't know why and how he saved or released or allowed Stussy to escape, but it's gonna play a role later on in the story with Rob Rochi, and about that I'm 100% sure. Okay, let's jump into the next one. This is bigger drawing. One of the most liked videos in the channel, one of the most viewed videos in the channel is the Vegapunk drawings, because this came around the time when when we were all of us reading Egghead, and maybe this kind of feedback from everyone, from all of you out there, wanting to see my take in every single one of the Vegapunks. I'm still missing a couple of them, but there is here this one that it has become, as I said, one of the most most watched videos in the channel. Let's go now into number 3. This is Sabo. Sabo drawing as revolutionary, as in Marijoa, as facing Imu, and obviously this video is going to be full of spoilers, so if you're not up to date with the manga, you're not up to date with I will say the manga because the anime is quite behind at the moment. I invite you to check here the main channel, and you can watch any other video that is a little bit older with a little bit older character in the story, so you're not spoiled, okay, because I don't want to spoil you. So Sabo, here we guessed right a theory talking about Imu. Imu in the latest episode has been revealed to have some sort of demon, Satan ability, and we have seen her transform through Gunko. And in this video I'm mentioning how Satan, the devil, would be Imu's reference, okay? Alvida. I love Alvida, I miss Alvida, one of the favorite characters from the beginning of the story. This is basically the first villain that we face in the story. This is as well, surprisingly, one of the most watched videos in the channel. I think it's even still in the top 6. And basically, Alvida swore to capture Luffy. Alvida is the first villain, as I said, and Alvida will be the last person who is gonna put Luffy in a situation, kind of in a compromised situation, between life and death of that situation, and probably I think there is a betrayal coming from her towards Buggy, because they join forces at the beginning of the story. If you remember, this is something that we are seeing as well now in the live action, but there is like a connection with her in real history of the woman in piracy, and Blackbeard, that I think is going to be notable later on in the story. So at the end of the story, endgame theory is Alvida is going to flip sides, is going to go to Blackbeard, is going to betray Buggy, and is going to put Luffy in a very terrible situation. Probably because of her, Luffy will lose his fruit, and that will be the real challenge at the end of the story. Luffy without fruit, only with sheer haki, be able to fight Blackbeard and rival him against all the odds to win the title of the Pirate King. Brook, the narrator of the story, is called, this video is called like that because obviously we kind of theorize here a lot that having the powers that he has and in combination with the OP, we could actually end Brook and give him a final moment, but it could be very epic if in future generations, like years and years and years pass, and there is this super tall skeleton playing music, singing songs about Luffy, about Zoro, about Nami. All of them are dead already because, you know, time, and Brook is the remaining of the Straw Hats, telling the adventures, telling the story. So we are actually listening to a song, maybe, since the beginning of the story, and the narrator boxes that we have in the manga, maybe, is Brook, okay? Next one, Nami. Nami comes from 800 years ago. Nami is from the Nerona family, connected to Imu, probably daughter of Himu or something like that. And this is the theory that I'm talking while drawing this video. It is one of these theories that I've been sharing lately as well as a post or as a shorts as well, because all the information that we are having from Imu, I think, is gonna be connecting very, very deep with Nami. Nami, I think, is the only Straw Hat from the very beginning that it doesn't have a second flashback yet, and I think Oda is waiting for the very end. He will do all of them first, even Jinbei, Frankie, etc., that they join later. All of them first, and then he will leave Nami for the very, very, very last one. I foresee here that once we see Imu, the real Imu, not the Nefertari D. Lily body containing Imu inside, that's what I think we're gonna see with the connections with Bibi. But when we see the real image of Imu from the past, or trying to awaken the real Imu through body exchange, like in Naruto with Sasuke and Orochimaru and all of these things, she's gonna have the hair like Nami, and that's gonna be a shocking news. Let's go into the next one, the strongest supernova. First of all, I want to say there are already One Piece Recap 1 that I'm gonna be putting here, okay? And we have here as well One Piece Recap 2 that I'm gonna be putting here as well. This video is recap number 3. So there are a lot of One Piece theories in the channel already made. I've been talking about possibilities going forward in the story, analysis of episodes and chapters, analysis of characters and description of characters. I've been drawing some of the smaller characters with my left hand as well, to create another type of playlist and everything. So there is a lot of content here that I invite you to sail through the channel, explore all the One Piece videos. There is a lot of extra content as well, non-One Piece related, but in the same line, like art related, talking about books, talking about movies, talking about other stories, okay, talking about art in general or how to draw, okay. I'm gonna put a playlist here as well, so you can see the scope of the channel and what are the things that we are doing here every week, okay. But let's continue now with what we are at the moment. So Urouge, or Urouge, I call it Urouge, I think is the strongest supernova up to date. Let's forget about GR5 and all of these things. I think at supernova level, Sabo on the point, this guy was the only guy who was able to defeat one of the pacifistas, was able to destroy one of the pacifistas. His power basically is to gather the power of the enemy, like the hits of the enemy, and return it strongest. And he can actually get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think there is no limit to this guy's power. This guy at the moment is Mad Monk Urouge, is the only supernova who we haven't seen having a little bit of a story beyond Shabondi, beyond just being around looking here or looking there. Okay, the rest of them, all of them, are having importance in the story, especially Law, especially Kid, for example. Okay, so this guy is left for the very last because it's gonna help us, because he's the strongest. Like another spoiler from Bleach, this is the Arrancar number 0 in Bleach as well. Very similar type of design, very similar type of body as well. And you know, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece are similar stories without the concept of adventure and fantasy. Okay, so take that as a reference. And connections, undeniable connections with NL and the ancient weapons and the mechanical ancient weapons. I think I still have time to tag one last more video here. If not, I will put down below in the show more section. But the mechanical ancient weapons, that is one of my most loved theories in the channel, my favorite theory in the channel, and crazy. So I invite you to have a look to that, because you're gonna get a very nice surprise and a lot of interesting lore coming from that theory. Okay, then we have another one of the supernovas. This is Killer from Captain Kid, Eustace Kid crew. I love Killer. So in this video I am basically explaining this story. I'm basically explaining how Killer, Kid, and the full crew has been obliterated by Shanks' divine departure as they were arriving to Elbaf. These guys were kind of wanting to fight, looking for a fight, and Shanks basically did a one-punch type of... he soloed them all, okay? I think it's time, like in Pirates of the Caribbean, to have a rebirth of Captain Kidd. When we, during Elbaf, we will see him being unconscious, and how maybe Gaban had him and was kind of reviving him or healing him. I see Killer helping us, like we had a little bit of help from Law in Wano at the beginning, kind of planning. Killer is one of the most intelligent guys in One Piece, together with Ben Beckman as well. So I don't discard the idea of seeing him around Elbaf, guiding us to Kid, and guiding us as well, or explaining to us who is the man marked by flames, because they were the ones introducing it in the story. Let's not forget about that. I think it's Scopper Gaban. I said it 1,000 times in 1,000 of my videos, but I think they are the ones who need to say, you are meeting with this guy, by the way, or you are already doing some dealings with Gaban, with Jasan. Okay, he is actually the man marked by flames. I do not discard this possibility coming from Killer's mouth, okay? Next is Bepo. Another top tier of the supernovas, is the first in command under Law. Law has been decimated as well, has been completely destroyed by Blackbeard in Winter Island. We see how all of them sink, but Bepo takes Law and escapes. I think Drake has found these guys floating around the sea and has saved them. I think these two guys belong to Sword with Drake. That's why they have ties. And I think we have seen only once Law wrapped up, full of patches and wrapped up and everything, healed. Meaning Bepo was able to find Shore and save Law. So the connections with Drake there, because he's looking the same at the same time, are... I think very high that we're gonna see that happening, okay? Let's go now into one of the newest characters introduced in the story of One Piece. So the latest and newest Gorosei member, Garling, okay? Garling here is the father of Shanks, the father of Shamrock, or Shonks, like I like to call him in the channel, and the peculiar design with the moon, with the type of satellite moon head design and everything, fits very interestingly with the concept of the Gorusei, the Elder, the planets, okay, the ancient weapon called as well after, you know, Uranus and Poseidon, etc, etc, etc. So, very interesting character, and here, in this theory, basically, I'm talking about how Garling is a character that I think needs to kind of prove himself and do something very radical in the story, and probably he's gonna be above all of the Gorusei, and he's gonna undermine the decisions of the other ones because they failed. At Imu's eyes, on Imu's eyes, they failed, and Imu appointed this guy now to be giving orders, I think. So this is gonna be Imu, and then this is gonna be Garling after her, and then we're gonna have the Gorusei, okay? The God's Knights probably are under his command as well, not only under the other guy's commands, probably. Tot Musica. This is a video I've done combined with the Inktober 52 challenge when talking about music. Tot Musica is introduced in one of the movies with Uta and everything, and this is the beginning of the end. This is where Oda is introducing the gods, the entities, these kind of superior beings, or let's say ethereal beings that we haven't seen in One Piece up until here. Now, with the GR5, with Imu's powers, with the Gorusei powers and everything, we are seeing more and more and more the concept of gods included in the story. Not gods like Enel, that they were like a human, like a person with superpowers, like more like monsters, okay, like monsters, like demons, like beings. This guy introduces that concept. In this video, when I talk about it, and before as well, I talk about it in a couple of videos, I say more of these things will be coming, and Oda is setting up this kind of fantasy within the fantasy of One Piece, this kind of mythology as well, or religion within the world of One Piece, and we were right. We were right because with GR5 and Joy Boy and all these things that are still unexplained, it makes sense. It's a little bit weird, a little bit too fantastic for One Piece, but I'm curious to see where are we going with this, okay? Bartolomeo from the Barto Club, one of the captains of Luffy's crew, okay? One of the guys who commands the Luffy's armada, let's say, okay? The Grand Fleet. Barto, in this image, has been destroyed as well. He lost basically against Sang's crew. I'm talking about what is gonna happen with him. He didn't die, but Usopp at the end of the Usopp's father at the end of this scene, at the end of this chapter, destroyed their ship. When someone loses the ship unwillingly, this is a way that Oda has of telling us, you lost. You are not gonna be coming back as a fighter. You may come back as an assistant to help us to do something specifically non-fighting related, okay? Kid has been defeated, Law has been defeated, ships destroyed. Barto has been defeated, ship destroyed as well. We had Whitebeard, ships were destroyed, and he said, that's why he said in Marineford, I don't have anywhere to come back, so I die here. He chose his death at that point because he had no home to return. These guys, they lost their homes, so they are done for. Okay, so their role is only assist going forward, not at all any kind of main character type of role that they had. Okay, these three guys, they had this kind of role in their respective sagas. Okay, let's go now to another of the supernovas, Capone Bege, or Capone Bege, I call him. this is basically, in this video, I explain through the path of his path, from becoming supernova to what was happening with Big Mom, with the connection with Luffy, with the connection with Jinbei and all of this, explaining the plot, the plan that he kind of prepared to be able to defeat and kill Big Mom, the connections with Lola as well, and how probably this story will connect definitely with Lola and Elbaf, with Loki, because let's not forget about this, Loki was supposed to marry Lola, and Lola escaped. Lola didn't want him. Now that we have seen Loki's a giant, yes, but he's not like a ugly or whatever guy. He's actually a strong, like a handsome guy, like crazy, yes, but what happened there? There is a need for more explanation, for more lore, and I think it's coming. I'm planning on doing a drawing of Lola soon, questioning all these things and trying to guess where are we going with that story that it's started already, but we don't know anything else about it. Okay. Queen from the Kaido pirates, from the Beast pirates. In this theory, I explain how Queen is Frankie's father. Okay, our Frankie's father. Oda revealed some very interesting information in one of the SBSs, I think it was, and in the magazine and everything, a timeline of he had a kid, and then he decided to abandon the kid, he became blah blah blah, and that was at the time of maths, and it fits with the 36, 38 years more or less that Frankie have, and in that video I explain step by step why he is the father and why Frankie is how he is, because he basically had a short period of time that Frankie was living basically with maths, with Vegapunk and company and this guy. Okay. Let's now move into this is the sun god, this kind of fake sun god that it ends up being one of Gerundin guys, but we guessed it as well. We guessed this theory as well, and how the comparison and everything with the sun god and what was happening with the toys was gonna be in the episode. Okay. Kuro. These drawings are a little bit more tiny. For a couple of drawings I went a little bit drawing more tiny. Kuro is from the beginning of the story, and I say this thing all the time in my videos. The guys from the beginning are gonna be the guys at the end. We are gonna see Alvida, we are gonna see Kuro, we are gonna see Don Grieg, we are gonna see Arlong again, yes. We are gonna see Buggy again, we are gonna see Smoker again, but I can't wait to see Smoker. These guys, Oda planned One Piece for 5 years to finish with these guys, to finish with Crocodile, to finish with all the story with Vivi and everything. So, up to End of Arabasta, all that we see in One Piece is kind of a pre-visualization of the whole picture of One Piece, okay? It's like you take that beginning of the story and multiply it by 100, and that is the whole of One Piece, okay? So, end of the story, the bad guys, Vivi is at the end of the story, and Crocodile is at the end of the story, and some things regarding ancient weapons, etc., are the end of the story, with Imu, okay? Laffitte is chief of staff of Blackbeard. That means, in my opinion, that he's the one who plans. This guy is not who he thinks or who we think he is. This guy is very mysterious, and a lot of information is going to be revealed about him. At the moment, he is in Redport, where the Bondolas go up to the Red Line, to Pangea Castle, to Holy Land. And the last news that we have about what's going on in Holy Land is that it's on fire, on a sea of fire. I think this guy got a green light from Kurohige Blackbeard to start moving his pieces, okay? he started, and I explain it in this theory, I think very in depth and very nicely. I think he already started cutting the supplies that the revolutionaries were destroying for the marijuana. He was already cutting that problem for them. He tried to sell their services to the Gorusei, saying, hey, these guys revolutionaries are doing this, we can protect you, okay, in exchange of making my boss, my pirate captain, a king, and on top of that making Hachinosu a kingdom, okay. I think it's a sea of fire, because this guy is in action already, is protecting the Terribitos, trying to make a deal with the Terribitos, okay, attacking Karasu and the rest of the people that may be coming and going from doing these attacks, and at the same time playing them to take this in his advantage and have access to the giant straw hat that we have in that massive freezer in behind the throne room with the emo story and everything, okay? I remember you that Blackbeard doesn't want to be the pirate king only. He wants to be the king of everything, the king of the world. And we see this when Katarina Devon and him, Laffitte, say this to Saturn in Egghead. Okay, so there is a lot. We need to remember that this story of One Piece is a story about pirates, not about the world government in One Piece, not about the Terribitos in One Piece alone. It's about pirates. So we need to defeat Imu first to be able to face Blackbeard. That's my opinion, okay? That's what I would like to see. The fan letter, drawing this tiny Nami fan. I analyze basically the video, the short, beautifully done. I loved it. For someone who is in One Piece up to its neck, like me, all the details and all the parallelism with all the fans that we see in the fan letter, with like previous characters from the beginning of the story, I love it. I am not gonna say anything here because there is a lot to cover, but I invite you to watch this video and see how I'm comparing Mr. For Paula, that it's Miss Doublefinger, etc., with some of these fans here in the newest short. I loved it. Then one of the guys from the beginning again, Captain Morgan, he leaves at the beginning of the story. Helmepo's father, he leaves, kidnapping Helmepo. Helmepo is rescued, well, he throws him to the water and he's rescued, and Helmepo becomes this kind of Superman now, okay? He's super strong now. Helmepo is endgame, like Kobe is endgame as well. Helmepo's goal, that I talk here in this video, and I want to do a drawing about Helmepo alone, I'm talking only about him, is to capture this guy, to capture his father, okay? He promised that at the beginning of the story, and he will deliver, okay? Helmepo clashed already with Zorro, he will clash again with Zorro, but he's not at his level, obviously. But Morgan, let's do Morgan. I can't wait to see him again. I'm very excited to see him again. Pudding, Sanji's wife, is captured by Blackbeard. Is in his power at the moment. Garp is in his power at the moment. We are in dire need of using her wonderful power of the Memo to see memories. I think Blackbeard, and I explain in this theory, is gonna use her power, her ability to see Garp's memories of God Valley. That's how we're gonna learn about God Valley, the rest of the flashback, through Loki's memories, okay, and little flashback of Loki, but essentially and mainly through Garp's memories. Information about Roger, information about Shebek, information about God Valley, information about Joy Boy, information about the D, the secrets and the clan, because Garp is a D. Not at all to read poneglyphs. That's what everyone is thinking about. Oh, she's with him because she's gonna read the poneglyphs with the third eye. Big Mom said so. No, forget about it. You need to awaken the eye. And this girl, this person, it is not gonna be awakening the eye. That's what I think, honestly, that is gonna happen with her. Okay, then I think we're almost at the end. Yes, we have maybe a couple more and that's it, and we finished. Monet, I love Monet. I think she's one of my favorite girls in One Piece. The power, I love it. The concept of RP, the concept of snow, I love it. There is something that it doesn't fit in her job description, and is helping Chopper to pass through where Caesar Clown, Shulolo, was kind of organizing these plans in the lab. Why did you help Chopper? I think you are good. I think you are good, and yes, you loved Doffy, yes, and you sacrificed everything for Doffy, yes. I don't think you are dead, and if you are dead, your fruit has revived into the tangerine grove that Nami has on the Sunny, and she didn't realize yet. I think that is a very, very high possibility. We want to see someone eating a fruit, or we want to have a fruit in our power. When are we gonna have a fruit, a Akuma no Mi in our power, that we will decide, ooh, are we gonna eat it? Are we gonna sell it? Are we gonna give it away to someone that we know? When is that gonna happen? I think there are two choices. One, Monet's fruit. Two, Kuma's fruit. Bibi is coming. Bibi will eat, probably by mistake, the Nikyu fruit, because there is a lot of theory about this already, and it may happen, it needs to happen, because the story with Lily and everything. But if Bibi eats the Nikyu, the Po fruit that Kuma has, what are we gonna do with Monet's fruit? We need to have fruits in our hands to see what are we gonna do. I would love to see this. I need Oda to see this, please. Make me a chapter, make me an episode where Luffy, not even Luffy, like maybe Usopp has the fruits and he's like, oh my god, or Nami has the fruits, oh my god, what are we gonna do with this? Should we sell it? Should we eat it? And again, like Frankie was, no, Luffy, I don't wanna eat the Mera Mera. You eat it. Let's see what can happen with that. Okay. Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria was 1-on-1, 1 versus 1 fighting Kaido in a flashback. Moria is super strong. Okay? Moria is a guy who lost and his dreams were crushed. And he represents this being very fit in the past and very like a force to be reckoned in the past, fighting Kaido, a Yonko, okay? And how now he is this kind of fat shape, abandoned himself, not trusting anymore his nakamas, making zombies, having only a couple of nakamas, but we see kind of some sort of redemption when he sacrifices everything, even his own life, basically to go and fight for Absalom in Hachinosu. Okay, very important. I think Gecko Moria, using his fruit, how he was using his fruit while fighting the whole Straw Hat crew, is a character basically immortal, basically almost impossible to kill, and he can actually escape from the battlefield, escape from places very, very easily. I enjoyed so much making this video, because I'm making as well videos of all the Shichibukai. I think I have them all already. I enjoyed so much making this video, because there are so much things that we can unravel through Gecko Moria. And this is the end. We finish the video today with this image that is from one of the cover stories from ages ago. This guy, mysterious guy, is talking with Crocus. Crocus is very happy, very excited, they are drinking. And people started speculating a lot. Who is this character? We, here in the channel, we got it right. This was Scopper Gaban, and we got it right. okay? I have a lot of videos talking about the Scopper Gaban. I even have a full playlist talking about the Scopper Gaban because I think the possibilities that he has in the story are unlimited. I love the character since the very beginning, and I couldn't wait more to see him already doing things. And now that in Elbaf we are having more information, I am enjoying it so much. This guy is the strongest of the Roger Pirates, confirmed. Stronger than Rayleigh, confirmed. If he's not joking, and maybe if he's doing this kind of Sanjian sort of thing, that it can be funny, but it makes sense that he's stronger. This guy is the man marked by flames. This is the man who has the last red poneglyph. This is the man who was gonna guide us to the Sky Kings for Bibi to be able to communicate with him or them, coming from the egg that Roger had on the ship. This guy is double swordsman, like, but he's using axes like Zorro, like using Nigiri. EI is one sword style, and then Nigiri is its attacks with 2 swords as well, and then the San Toryu is the attacks with the 3 swords and everything as well. So I think this guy in all the flashbacks, Scopper Gaban in all flashbacks, is clashing with Vista, the sword flower, okay? That's my first video in the channel. I think that is why I started my YouTube channel, because I strongly believe Vista is the #1 guy of Blackbeard. Vista is the person who basically started kind of contaminating, let's say, a little bit Blackbeard to become this bad guy that he is now. I think he's been on mission since day one. I think he is hunting Josu to steal his fruit, the diamond fruit. So you will have the guy who was able to clash with Mihawk in the Great War, the only guy who was able to clash with Mihawk with swords in the war, okay? That's a rival for Zorro, with a diamond fruit, indestructible type of power, plus tremendous amount of haki. He's the #5, or he was the #5 of Whitebeard, kind of, you know, staying on the sidelines. But imagine this combination together. Is this a better fit than Shiryu that can be invisible to fight against Zorro? 100%. 100%. When Oda reveals this, internet is gonna go crazy, internet is gonna explode, and everyone is gonna be talking about, oh, no one actually thought about this. Yes, we thought about this here in the channel, and I've been saying it since day one. The channel here, we are already, how long? 2 years, or around 2 years, something like that, and that was my first video talking about this, because I see it so obvious, and every year I see it more and more and more that that's gonna happen. Okay, so I invite you to, yeah, this is the last one. I invite you to check all these theories, okay? All of them, you can find them in the channel. You can recognize the theories by looking at the drawing. You can see as well all the playlists I have in the channel, all the other videos I have in the channel, but One Piece ideas, One Piece stories, if you have as well your own and you want to discuss it, feel free to go down there to the show more section. Let's start conversation, and yeah, let's try to unravel the mysteries of One Piece. Okay, this is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23. You can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragon Scale. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the description, this sketchbook tour, this One Piece recap, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.